credit report, credit score. What is the actual difference? You hear these terms all the time, right? And it's so easy to think they're the same thing. But they're not, and the difference is actually super important. So we're going to break it all down really simply. Let's get right into it. Okay, the easiest way to understand this is to think back to school. Remember getting your report card? It had all the nitty-gritty details, didn't it? Every single class, your grades, maybe even little notes from your teachers. It was the complete story of how you were doing that semester. Well, your credit report is your financial report card, exactly like that. It's a detailed document that lists out your entire history of borrowing and paying back money. And just like your school report card probably had that one big, important number on it, your GPA, that kind of summarized everything. Your credit report has one of those too, and that's your credit score. It's just a single 3-digit number that lets lenders get a super quick snapshot of your financial health. So you see, the report is the whole detailed story, and the score, that's just the final grade. This quote absolutely nails it. Your credit report is all the evidence. It's the full story, the facts, laying out everything you've done financially. The credit score is the verdict. It's that one number that takes all that evidence and gives a quick judgment call, telling lenders at a glance how risky it might be to lend you money. One is the long story, the other is the headline. So if the score is the GPA, the next obvious question is, well, how do they even calculate that grade? What parts of my financial report card matter the most? This right here is the most important part. Because once you understand this, you hold the key to actually improving your score.
Now, it feels a little like a secret formula, doesn't it? There are a few different ways to calculate a score, but the one you've probably heard of is the FICO score. And there's a good reason for that. Something like 90% of top lenders use FICO scores to make their decisions. So yeah, that's the one we're going to focus on, and it's all based on 5 key things from your credit report.
Okay, just look at this breakdown. Payment history is a massive 35% chunk. And right behind it, amounts owed is another 30%. Get this, that's 65% of your entire score, right there. It all comes down to just 2 main things. Do you pay your bills on time, and how much money do you owe? The other stuff matters, sure, but way less. You've got length of history at 15%, that's just how long you've had credit. Then credit mix and new credit are both 10%. Basically, it's good to have different kinds of credit and to not apply for a bunch of new stuff all at once. Let's just pause on this for a second, because it's so important. Over a third, 35% of your entire score is based on one incredibly simple thing. Did you pay your bills on time? That is it. A single late payment can ding your score, and the more recent it is, the more it stings. This is, without a doubt, the #1 most important habit for building a great credit score. All right, now for that second huge piece, amounts owed. This mostly boils down to something with a fancy name, your credit utilization ratio. I know it sounds technical, but I promise it's really simple. It's just the percentage of your available credit that you're using right now. So, for example, if you have a credit card with a $10,000 limit and you have a $3,000 balance on it, your utilization is 30%. Simple, right? So, here's the golden rule. Always, always try to keep your credit utilization below 30%. And honestly, the lower, the better. The folks with the absolute best credit scores often keep theirs under 10%. And this is where we bust a huge myth. You do not need to carry a balance from month to month and pay interest to build your credit. You don't. Paying your bill in full every month is the best thing you can do. So all those factors get crunched together in the formula and out pops your final score, a number somewhere between 300 and 850. As you can see, anything over 670 is considered good, and that's kind of the baseline to get approved for things with decent rates. But the real sweet spot where you get the best offers is up there in that very good or exceptional range, above 740. That's when lenders start rolling out the red carpet for you. Just to give you some perspective on where you might stand, the national average credit score here in the US is right around 715. That lands squarely in that good category, which is a totally solid place to be, but it also shows that for a lot of us, there's definitely room to grow. So why should you even care about pushing your score from good to exceptional? Well, it's pretty simple. Money. Cold, hard cash. Let's make it real. On a pretty typical $300,000 mortgage, the difference between having a good score and an exceptional one could literally mean you pay almost $77,000 more in interest over the years. I mean, think about that. That's a new car. That's a huge chunk of a college fund. Your score has a direct impact on your wallet. Okay, so we get what it is, we get how it's calculated, and we get why it matters. Now let's get to the best part, how you can actually improve it. And the really good news is it's probably not nearly as complicated as you think. It honestly boils down to these three simple habits. First, pay every single bill on time. Not most bills, every bill. Set up autopay. It's a lifesaver. That takes care of the biggest chunk of your score, right there. Second, work on keeping your balances low. That lowers your utilization, which we just learned is a huge deal. And third, check your full credit report at least once a year. You'd be shocked how many reports have errors on them that could be dragging your score down. That's it. It's that straightforward. And while you're building those good habits, try to avoid a few common pitfalls. This first one is so counterintuitive, it gets people all the time. Closing old credit cards. It feels like the responsible thing to do, right? I'll just close this account I don't use. But remember that length of history part of your score? Well, that old account helps make your credit history look longer and more stable. Closing it can actually shorten your history and make your score dip. It's one of those weird little details that can make a big difference. Okay, so to put any of this into practice, the first step is to see your own report card. You have to know where you stand. And by law, you are entitled to a free report every year from each of the three main credit bureaus. That's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Now listen, there are tons of websites out there that will try to trick you into paying. The only official, 100% free, government-authorized site is annualcreditreport.com. I'll say that again, annualcreditreport.com. Go there, pull your reports, and read your own story. So, we've covered the report, the score, and a simple plan to make things better. Now the question is, what are you going to do with this information? I'm not talking about some giant life change. Just one small thing. Maybe it's setting up autopay on that one bill you always forget. Or maybe it's putting an extra $50 toward a credit card balance. What's the one thing you'll do today to start building that better financial future for yourself?